Hey Void, how you doing today? So, rather than continuing on my nightmare binge, which was tempting, I actually did not have immediate access to my Blu-ray player, so I had to crack into a DVD. I could have done some on streaming, but I've got a lot of DVDs still to get through on this show, so I decided to just pull one I've been meaning to rewatch, so The Babadook it is. Now, Babadook came out in 2014, and I will say the hype around this movie initially was, it really hit me. Like, it was very limited engagement when it was in doing the theater run, and it really just, although a lot of the previews just really grabbed me, so I was very eager to see this one. And, well, as soon as it was available, picked it up, and yeah, I really did like this one. It's not perfect, but it's got a lot going for it. Now, the movie can kind of be viewed as two ways. The first is then as a traditional monster possession type film. The other is as an allegory for depression and other mental illness. And it works either way. And yeah, this is a very powerful film in those regards, and it can be rather disturbing. So, this follows then Essie Davis, who's great in this. Love Essie Davis. There's Amelia, a mother whose husband died at the same day she gave birth to her son, Sam. And, well, he's, this child has a problem with monsters. He's fixated on and terrified of monsters, so he built weapons to try to ward them off, which he brings to school, though he really shouldn't. And the child has a lot of. He's very clingy to his mother, is so sure something's going to happen to her, so he's the kid himself has a lot of problems, and Amelia is just having problems connecting. And as it gets closer to his birthday and the anniversary of her husband's death, things start getting deteriorating, particularly after they find a mysterious book titled Mr. Babadook, and it's a pretty much a very disturbing pop-up book. And after reading this, the kid freaks out, and then more and more strange things start happening. She's being followed by someone or something, and mysterious knocking sounds are heard at night. Soon the book shows back up with even more disturbing implications, and then she starts seeing the Babadook himself creeping ever closer, which begins putting her and her son in danger. Yeah, the imagery is this is great, even if some of the shots of Mr. Babadook look a little silly. It's kind of somewhat intentional. And the effects are very minimalist, but they work. And they work for this story. I like the ending that's quite open to interpretation on a lot of things, particularly that you can't get rid of the Babadook, or it means you can't just easily get rid of depression. You have to find a way to live with it. Same with living with the Babadook. So yeah, this film really hit it for me. Though I understand if some people have problems with it, the kid can be a bit much. There's a lot of jokes and memes about how annoying this kid is. And I know but that is part of the point of the film, of how much this kid is just driving this woman into this place where she starts seeing this Babadook. Now, looking at it from the depression angle, I think in the confines of this story, it's allegorical for depression, but in the confines of this, the creature does actually manifest. It's not just her seeing things. Just there's too much going on that I think she is actually being haunted because of it, and it does work in that regard. But it's still just keeping in mind the framework of a depression and mental illness can add something to it. Now, I'm trying to think of what else. Soundtrack is again very minimalist, but works for it. And really, my only complaint is the kid there's a couple scenes where it is hard to sit through him. He is very strong. He does adds all, then, but the movie I don't think would be as powerful without that. But it is tough to sit through, and I get that. This movie, the creepy atmosphere works. It's not perfect, but the acting is top notch, and that really elevates it. I'm going to give the Babadook 8 MacGuffins. I would love to have gotten a copy of the pop-up book. Apparently, there were some that were available right off the bat, and now it's a very expensive collector's item. But you can see like a full version online, including more than that was even shown in the movie, and it is delightfully twisted. Yeah. So, that's I think all on the Babadook. Gay icon. I still can't believe that meme took off as much as it did, because that has nothing to do with the movie other than a Netflix snafu, but I'm glad that the creators embraced it. Alright, well, give it a look if you haven't seen it. It really lives up to a lot of hype for me. Alright, have a good night, Boyd.